Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly try to share some basic informations for yourself or anyone who ever like to practice meditation, or any beginners, any newcomers, to develop a very clear, solid foundation for themselves to practice. Because when it comes to meditation, mostly in the Western world, it's kind of like they have a kind of like a picture, just you sitting on a cushion, crossing your legs and closing your eyes, and you get out of all the other activities and silence, and you just focus or concentrate or visualize something. So when it comes to the early Buddhism, there was a word for meditation, it's called bhavana. So the bhavana means cultivation of the mind, development of the mind. So in that way, it is just not only sitting and closing your eyes. In day-to-day life, you can cultivate, you can develop your mind in many ways. So when it comes to that, there are major two different paths, two different mental cultures. For the bhavana, another one called the mental culture. The way you maintain, the way you develop the mind. So there are two ways. So one is called Samata meditation culture, another one called the Vipassana meditation culture. So today early in the morning, there was one of our students came and asked me, Bhante, how this Samata and Vipassana work and what is this? So I was thinking, it is better, even though we talk about it many times, it is better to give a more clear explanation, or we break it down to a little bit more simple parts and understand this very clearly. It is because just focusing to breathing is not a kind of like a samatha or vipassana. So then you have to understand that there are many meditation techniques and people talk about many things, but when it comes to clear understanding, sometimes you can't explain, you don't know what is the meaning of samatha and how you can practice samatha, and what is the meaning of vipassana and how you can practice vipassana. And some people say, oh, I practice vipassana. And then what you do? Oh, I focus to my breathing. The focusing to breathing is not vipassana. So that's why you have to come to a very basic understanding. So today we are going to talk about that little bit. So when it comes to these two mental cultures, and there are two other, the words, concentration and mindfulness. So the concentration meditation and mindfulness meditation. So actually in the early Buddhism, that when we look the sutras and when we look kind of like in a larger scale, and then according to the Buddha's teaching, this both together the work. There was no separately talk about that. Oh, this is the concentration meditation, this is mindfulness meditation, or this is Samata meditation, or this is Vipassana meditation. Not like that. It's deeply, critically analyze themselves, how things come to be as they are, or otherwise they deeply come to understand how things arising and passing, or deeply recognize the change. So, but by the time today, we are so far away from the Buddha's time, and within these 2,600 years, and in the beginning it came orally, because monks used to memorize it and chant it, and they used to bring this old Dharma orally, and then by the time they recorded it. So today we have sutras, and according to that sutras, and at the same time, after the Visuddhi Marga, that it's a kind of like a brief summary of the entire Tripitaka. Venerable Buddhaghosa gave that brief introduction. So after that, it gave kind of like a structure for some kind of practice. So, but now what happened, by the time we have kind of like traditional Buddhism, and we have the culture, and at the same time academically it opened to different path. So, and at the same time there is the path, the meditation. So we are on that path, but we have to get the help out of that all other things time to time, to be very clear how we can practice with our own mind. So how we can practice with our life. So when it comes to that, even though in the beginning there were no two paths, so today we talk about tranquility meditation and Vipassana meditation. So and at the same time, these both have the same purpose. So what is that purpose? Understanding our inner experience, recognizing, and how things come to be as they are. So in the tranquility meditation is to tranquilize the mind, you need a mental object. Because as ordinary people, we always go with the objects, mental objects. So that's why, rather than going here and there, we bring a mental object and settle down our mind with that. So to get into that object, settle down, we take the breathing as our primary mental object. So once you settle down with the breathing, and the tranquility meditation, Samatha meditation, it take you to absorption. So the very absorption means it's kind of like you have ability to absorb. So then what happened to your mind? Your mind everywhere with all the information related to outside things. So tranquility meditation will help for you to absorb the mind to one place. So like shocks, absorption. So like it has power to absorb the shocks. So it's kind of like a sponge. You know, when you put the water to sponge, it has ability to absorb it. So like that, your mind, it has ability to absorb its own ability rather than go with the outside things. So then when it comes to that, by the time you develop the rapture, and you develop the calmness, and or you develop the undisturbed mind, and out of that you can develop the absorption. So there are four absorption, end of the tranquility meditation: first absorption, second absorption, third absorption, and the fourth absorption. There are different qualities that you experience with the mind. So we're not going to go to the absorption. It is a different topic, but that is the end of the tranquility path. That is where you go when you develop the tranquility or the samatha meditation. So when it comes to the history, as we know, this it called jhana or the dhyana, and that is what became the jhana when it go to China. And the dhyana became when it was in India, and dhyana, and when it go to China, it became Chan, and when it went to Japan, the same meditation, just to see that tranquility path, it became Zen. So that is the path, the Zen. In the Zen meditation, the highest you attain to the jhana, absorption. So that means you deeply come to the complete tranquility mind, an undisturbed mind. But when it comes to the Vipassana level, it is different. So the Vipassana level, there are four foundations. That one is called Kaya-anupassana, another one Chitta-anupassana, another one Vedana-anupassana, and Dhamma-anupassana. So contemplate the contemplating or the mindfulness of the body, and the mindfulness of breathing, the feelings, mindfulness of mind, and mindfulness of dharma or the phenomena. So that is the Vipassana level. So in the Vipassana level, this is the thing. In tranquility meditation, so try to listen very carefully and understand. In tranquility meditation, you take one mental object, and then you settle down with it, and you absorb the mind and all the abilities to that mental object and be with it. So as a result of that, you develop the jhana. In the Vipassana level, the four foundation, there are four mental objects that you can go. The body, it's when it comes to body, look, the body head to toes, any part of the body, and sitting, walking, lying down. So this all you can get as the mental object. So it's see that the difference when it comes to Vipassana. So the tranquility meditation, it's one place, one thing. So as example, even the just looking at the tip of the pen, and then you can concentrate onto that. So that is concentration meditation. So that is samatha. And then from there, when it go to Vipassana level, and the mindfulness of breathing. So mindfulness of breathing. So the feelings. So mindfulness of feelings mean it is not in one place feelings. That all the feelings that head to toes, wherever it arises, you get it. And the mindfulness of mind. So all the thoughts keep coming, and you watch it, you recognize it. And the mindfulness of dharma. So this head to toes, aging and changing, and that all the natural process that we go through, you contemplate on it. So when you contemplate on that, what happens, rather than settling down and calm down the mind, you start to expand the recognition. So that is the mindfulness meditation. So tranquility meditation means, concentration meditation means, you concentrate it to one place and to absorb the mind. And the Vipassana meditation means you become mindful. That means you see more deeply, thoroughly, from different in each and every angle. And then when it comes to that, just see that when you concentrate to the feelings, it is not in one place. Any feelings anywhere in your body. So in the present moment, whatever the feelings arise, and you catch it. And the mind, any thought, it is not a one kind of thought, any thought, whatever thoughts arise in the moment. So you always, when it comes to Vipassana, your primary mental object, it is not going to be one thing, and whatever, it always going to be in the present moment. Rather than tranquility meditation, it is totally different. Another thing is, when you tranquilize the mind, you bring it to one point, one place, but now you see, when it comes to Vipassana, just imagine, there is a feelings arise here, and you keep observing, and then suddenly feelings start to arise somewhere in the back of your lower back area. So then you recognize these feelings and it's disappear, and then you go to other place. So then how about entire body? So the feeling that when it comes to Vipassana, you go place to place. So that means you are so active and you can't follow only one method. So when you go with that, what happens? You start to see arising and passing. All the experience that you go through in the moment. So that is where you see the change. And that investigation. So investigation means it is not you settle down in one place and absorb the mind to that. Investigate means you use each and every, how? As example, the goldsmith, how he examined the gold, gem cutter. So kind of like, if you take a, just a very raw piece of gem to a gem cutter, and to examine this is this real one, he used many methods, so like that. When it comes to 4 foundations in the Vipassana, you get out of all the limits, the patterns, the methods, and somehow thoroughly, deeply, you recognize the moment of experience. Another thing is you are not settling down with it. See that in the tranquility meditation, you settle down. You said that's why you go to the absorption. That's why you develop the undisturbed mind. And you settle down there. But in the Vipassana, it's not like that. It's deeply, thoroughly, you go to the bottom of your moment of experience and you recognize what is happening within the moment. So that is where you go to the deeper into the very structure of life, form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. So that is where you can see this mechanism, the 5 aggregates. So in the tranquility meditation, it helps you to get out of the 5 hindrances. In the Vipassana level, it clear, it open, and allow you to recognize the 5 aggregates. So this both 5. So it is not the same. It is totally different. Tranquility meditation, it reduced the 5 hindrances and all the blockages, the desires related to the mind, and kama chanda, self-centered desire, and vyapada, anger, or the enemy, Tina Midda, or the sloth and torpor, Uddacha Kukucha, and Vichikicha, and the restlessness and the doubt. So that is what make us disturb in day-to-day life. So tranquility meditation will help you to get out of that. 5 hindrance. So once you get out of the 5 hindrance, what will happen? You will enter to the absorption. So step by step, you can go to the fourth absorption. So in the Vipassana level, it is not like that. It's if you have the ability to calm down in this very moment, you can observe the feelings and you can see it. But the thing is this, why this both path and became a kind of like a tradition? Because in the beginning, there are some people, they can directly go to critical analytical recognition with the 4 foundation, with the body. Their mind is so sharp and clear, they can directly access to the body and the sitting, walking, also the entire bodily posture and all the bodily activities, so like that. And there are some people, they can get into feelings and see the feelings, and they can go anywhere in the body. They have kind of like a tranquility state, because everybody not the same. The mind is person to person different. So some people have the mindfulness to certain level. So for them, they can directly go to the Vipassana level. But there are some people, they can't. You forget about the body, forget about the feelings, even that's a very conventional level things, sometimes they can't. That is their nature of the mind. So nothing wrong with it. So for them, they need some kind of tranquility meditation. So that's why as a foundation, we develop the tranquility meditation. So even for us also, it is good. Why? Because it's a kind of like give us a very clear the platform to go deeper. It's a kind of like you have a balanced mind. So like you have a balanced platform to work. So that's why it helps. Another thing is, once it get out of the 5 hindrance, the mind become more clear and sharp. So with that clarity, when you observe things and without any interference from your own thoughts, you are capable to see things. So tranquility meditation somehow take you to certain level to recognize things as it is. But recognizing things as it is not allow you to get out of it, or it not allow you to attain to the Nibbana. It not allow you to end this samsaric journey. But when it comes to the Vipassana level, it take you deeper into to see and recognize and understand. That means what? 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. So that means your moment of experience as a human being. That means your life. So what is happening within you? So you are capable to experience it deeply, moment by moment, moment by moment. So then somebody can ask, oh, Bhante, we observe the feelings, then we can't see the form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition. So that's why you need a little bit practice for that. Because if you are capable to observe the feelings, by the time what happens, as example, you can't recognize the feelings without the mind. You can't recognize the feelings without the form, feeling, perception, volition, or the recognition. But in the surface level, you don't see it. So it's like when you get into the night, if you go out this night sky, and if you look at the stars, maybe you see only brighter stars in the beginning. But from inside the house, even you can't see it. So the very first thing, you have to go out and you have to go to the open space and then look. When you look, what will happen? In the very first time, you're not going to see a lot of stars. But if you keep looking, what will happen? It is not somebody bringing, it's not someone interfering to you. When you start to look, you start to see deeply. There are more stars. Maybe they are not brighter like from the beginning you saw. There are many billion stars. So the same thing, you can't suddenly recognize form, feeling, perception, volition, recognition, this mechanism. So once you settle down to the feelings, once you start to see the thoughts, and once you start to recognize this natural process of your mind, so the body, so by the time that recognition will take you to the next level. So only thing is, it is not a kind of like a mere intellectual understanding. It is a deeply conscious experience, because you can't explain or you can't verbalize this conscious experience. So that's why that the method that you experience, rather than go with the verbalizing and talking or listening to somebody, you go with your own practice and see it. So when you go with that, what you need, you have to be mindful to the moment what you experience. So then that when your mindfulness becomes sharp, so to become sharp, your mindfulness, you have to concentrate. So you need the help out of the tranquility meditation also. And when you concentrate, your mindfulness become more sharp. And as example, you recognize the feeling. So that is your mindfulness. But if your awareness, your concentration become more sharp, that mindfulness become expand. So you are mindful about something, but it can't go deeper without concentration. So then you bring the help from the concentration, and then your mindfulness, that means what you see, what you recognize, going to become more sharp and clear. When we go to the same example. So you go to the outside and you start to look at the stars, and you just open the eyes and just keep looking at the sky. Just keep looking at, you're not going to see things. So you need the concentration. You need the awareness. Then you have to be mindful with the moment, and your mind deeply need to interfere with the concentration, and both need to work together to see deeper. So that is what happened in the Vipassana. So you come to any mental object out of the four foundation, the body, feelings, mind, phenomena. So when you come to that, you see it with the help of the concentration, connect to the mindfulness, you sharpen it, and you go to the moment of experience. And that is where it takes you deeper to see the moment of experience arising and passing. And then in the depth of that, you touch the change. So once you recognize this moment of experience change, it's become your moment of the conscious experience. And once you have that, because you never saw it before, You had the ideas, you thought things, but you never experienced it. Now you experience it. When you recognize this moment of change within you, what will happen? It becomes an irreversible wisdom for you, because now you know deeply, you change. In the depth of this head to toes, this everything change. And once you have that, so your body always going to be with you until you die. Your feelings going to be there with you until you die. Your mind going to be there with you until you die. And the phenomena, you are bound to Dharma or the natural process until you die. So then, it's the moment by moment. If your mindfulness connect with the awareness, concentration, together work, and you, if you hold it to this four foundation, body, feelings, mind, Dharma, and then what will happen? In the very moment, you're going to recognize the change within your own body. And that's why there are some difference in meditation teachings. It say the moment by moment you have the nibbana. The nibbana is within you. It's happening moment by moment. What does that mean? Because this change, if you see this change deeply, it become irreversible wisdom, and then you attain to the nibbana, because you are not going to hold anything as permanent. So anything mean not the outside, the inside experience. Your body, your feelings, your mind, your consciousness, your recognition, those are things. So then you are the one who get liberated from you. So that is the process. And from where then the breathing meditation comes. Why we do the breathing meditation? So when it comes to these four foundations, so the mindfulness of feelings and the mindfulness of body and mindfulness of mind, mindfulness of Dharma, these all four foundations you can catch with one technique that is called mindfulness of breathing. So, and at the same time, you can develop it as a primary mental object to develop the tranquility meditation. And you can go into tranquility meditation, and you can develop that path, and you can attain to the absorption. And at the same time, in this very moment, forget about attaining to the absorption, you can get into this all four foundations that mean Vipassana. Another thing is that the tranquility meditation, there are 40 meditation technique categories, that the different categories go with the character. So the person to person, there are some people can practice certain meditation technique. There are some people can't practice that. Kind of like, contemplate on the impermanent, or maybe the practicing kasina, or looking at one thing, maybe looking at the candlelight. There are some people they can't do, but there are some people they are very easily getting tranquilize the mind. So here in this common platform for all of us, we have no opportunity go with personally have a conversation, and we can't associate personally each and everyone, and you are somewhere else, and even we don't know who watched this video. So, and if it doesn't matter whoever you are, for all of us, this contemplate on inhalation, exhalation, work as a primary mental object. That's why it called, another way it called the Mahapurusha Bhavana. For any person, this meditation technique work. So if anyone asks from you, if you want to help anybody, you can explain, or you can kind of like exchange your experience. You can help that person, and you can give some information to anybody to practice concentration, the contemplate on inhalation, exhalation. And the beauty of this technique, and by the time it has ability, if you come to the very clear recognition of inhalation, exhalation, it will take you to the Vipassana level, and it complete the tranquility meditation, all the qualities. And if you develop the absorption, that also become the foundation for this. And other thing is, it take you to the Vipassana level. Why? Because with the breathing meditation, you can develop this, all the four foundations. And all the Buddhas, when they attain to the Buddhahood, they take this path. They practice out of that all other meditation techniques. They start to practice breathing meditation and concentration on inhalation, exhalation. They take that path and attain to the Buddhahood. So that's why, as a main master technique, we practice breathing meditation. That means contemplate on inhalation and exhalation. So when it comes to breathing meditation, we have to be very clear here. Listen this very carefully. As I mentioned many times in many sessions, we focus our mind to in front of our nose and upper lip area, but we are not interfering to the natural process of inhalation, exhalation. We don't bring any ideas. We don't mess up that natural process. We don't do anything the way we want. We just allow it to happen as it is. So that is why your mindfulness and concentration need to work together. Because otherwise, if you are not mindful, what happens, even though you have the concentration, what will happen? Naturally, because your body start to overtake the natural process of inhalation, exhalation. Then you break down the pattern. But now we try to see the natural process of inhalation, exhalation without judging, without adding any things, without making any comments, or without kind of like interference. You simply observe. But when you observe, you're not going to recognize the inhalation or exhalation by thinking about it. You have to recognize it by sensation. And then according to the sensation, so then you have no rights to do the inhalation or do the exhalation. You just wait and see. So when the inhalation happens, what will happen? Through the sensation, you can see that, because the sensation of the inhalation will teach you it is inhalation. And the exhalation, the sensation, when you see it very clearly, you can recognize it as exhalation. So through the sensation, you have to recognize your inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. So now when the mindfulness and concentration work together, what happened? Your awareness becomes sharp. You're going to be with the moment, and then that all the inhalation, exhalation, that what you experience in the beginning, maybe it is just an inhalation, exhalation, but by the time what will happen? You start to see more details. Your inhalation, exhalation, become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So like that, it has the character, the details of the character going to become more. So then you are capable to see more deeply. But in the beginning, you just saw just the sensation, that's it. But later, you see that through that sensation, you can get more detail. So then by the time you are recognizing, it will help you to calm down the body, mind, and the breathing. So by the time what happens, your body, mind, breathing come together. There is no separation. So that is where all the 5 aggregates drop. So 5 hindrance, 5 hindrance drop. Kama, Chanda, Vyapada, Tina Midda, Uddachaka, Kucha, Vichika. Once the body, mind, the breathing come together, what happens? That all the desires related to, all the needs related to self-centered mind disappear. And the anger or the hatred or the envy disappear. So the disappear means not going to vanish. It go down. And sloth and torpor and go down. Restlessness go down. Doubt go down. And the body, mind, breathing come together. And that is where you start to get into the absorption. So then you can go in that path or kind of like, but once the mind come to that level, because now you work with not only concentration, now you are mindful and now your concentration both together work. Your awareness becomes sharper and clear. And as a result of that, what happens, whatever you concentrate, wherever your awareness, you become mindful about it. This is a kind of like a king and queen come together and take a decision. This is a kind of like a king and the queen and all the ministers and everybody come together and take a decision. It becomes so powerful. No one go against, kind of like no rejection. Everybody into the same. So that is what, when it come to the Vipassana level, that whatever the moment of experience, it deeply, thoroughly, you can recognize. Because all the hindrance disappear, and that is where your clarity become more sharp and clear, but at the same time, you become mindful. It is just not only the concentration. So, and within the body, mind, and the breathing, this all together, and then moment by moment, your moment experience with the form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, there is nothing going to miss. That each and every part related to your body, feelings, mind, and the nature, everything you can see without missing any part. And you see, and death of this all arising and passing. There is nothing else. That's why you come to the final conclusion, understanding. This everything change. So once you have that, each and every moment become your nibbana, your liberation, your transformation. Each and every moment you have the bliss. Why? Because you experience, you're not bound to it. It is not yours. And out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, there's nothing come with the self-centered idea. It's always going to work with the cause and effect, causality. That's why your life going to change. So this is the process. So try to listen again and again, be very clear. And if you have any question, so you can put a comment on our YouTube video, or this is Facebook Live. You can put a comment And if the process is not clear for you, because it is very important for you to understand this both path, and the work, when you work with this, that clarity is very necessary, and you have to know how the transformations happen, because it is not what we think sometimes. It's, we have to know the process. Once you know the process, you are capable to get the good result. So now let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body. Just bring the awareness deeply. Breathe in, breathe out 3 times, and recognize your sensation, please. And observe your inhalation, exhalation as it is. Do nothing extra. Bring my attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Also, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.